Hello, this short recording is on the rights of the accused. Please make sure that you've turned to the right page in your resource book, and here we go. Now, remember, as we're talking about rights of the accused, we mean someone who has been accused of a crime. That means that they haven't been convicted, they haven't been thrown in jail, they have been either suspected based on probable cause or some other reasonable form of evidence. So, here we go. We find that there are 6 amendments in the Constitution that specifically focus in on rights of someone who has been accused of a crime. The 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 14th Amendments. So let's take a look at the 4th Amendment first. The 4th Amendment protects against unreasonable searches and seizures, and it requires that police have a search warrant. Basically what this means is that the police can't just break into your home and look for evidence. They have to have a reason. They have to have that probable cause. They have to go to a judge, called a magistrate, to get a search warrant in order to be able to go into your house, look for evidence, collect things, and take it with them. So the search is looking for something, and then the word seizure is taking that evidence with them, making sure that they've got it. So that's the 4th Amendment. The 5th Amendment we've talked about a lot. We've talked about the fact that the 5th Amendment is due process at the national level. And so let's see what that is a little bit more specifically. First, our first note is due process for the national government. So it sort of encapsulates it. It summarizes all the other amendments. And there are 2 things in here we want to make sure that we remember. The first is what's called protection from double jeopardy, and the second is the right to remain silent. Protection from double jeopardy means that you're protected from being tried for the same crime twice. So let's say that you've been accused of robbing a bank. Well, they go through the trial, and after showing all the evidence, getting all the witness testimonies, you're found to be not guilty. So if the government thinks, you know what, we really think they're guilty, let's put them on trial again. Well, if we didn't have double jeopardy, they could do that. They could keep putting you on trial until maybe they get the right judge or the right jury, and finally they're able to convict you of the crime. Maybe you could spend the rest of your life just going through trial after trial after trial until the government finds you guilty. Protection from double jeopardy means that for a specific crime at a specific time, you can't be tried twice. Now, that doesn't mean that you can rob a bank one day, be found not guilty, and then go rob a bank later and say, wait, you already tried me for that crime. No, that's a different crime. It's just one single crime at one single time. The 5th Amendment also gives you your right to remain silent, which means that you don't have to answer questions. You don't have to take the stand in a trial. You don't have to go up there and have the other side's lawyer ask you questions about where you were. You could remain silent at a trial. Why would you do this? Well, you don't want to give up evidence that might find you to be guilty, or if you're innocent, you don't want to possibly give up evidence that might show, that might make the jury think that you're guilty when really you're not. It could be something suspicious that just is suspicious but doesn't connect you with the crime. So you have the right to remain silent, the right to not say anything. Okay, let's go on to the 6th Amendment. The 6th Amendment has to do with stuff specifically inside of a courtroom during a criminal trial when a law has been broken. You're guaranteed a speedy criminal trial. That means that the government can't lock you up and throw you away for 2 years and then get around to it. Now, will it take a few months? Sure. You've got to gather evidence, make sure your lawyers are prepared, make sure that you can get all the witnesses together, make sure you have a courtroom. But it has to proceed at a reasonable pace. You're guaranteed a trial by jury so that you have 12 people who don't know you, who don't have anything to lose or gain by your trial, deciding whether or not you're innocent or guilty. This is really good because it means that you've got those impartial, unbiased people deciding what happens to you rather than a judge. A judge who, for whatever reason, might not like you, a judge who might favor the government, maybe they're being paid off. In this case, you've got what is hopefully an impartial group deciding your fate. You have the right to a lawyer. Sometimes you could be innocent, but not know how to prove you're innocent based on the laws that exist. So having a lawyer, having someone who knows the laws, knows how things work, can be really helpful. It can help prove that you're innocent rather than going to jail for a crime that you didn't commit. Finally, you have the right, according to the Sixth Amendment, to question witnesses. So if you've been accused of a crime and there's a witness there and they say, oh, I saw you at such and such a place and saw you do this, that, and the other thing, well, your lawyer can go up and can cross-examine, can ask them questions to try and show your side of the story, maybe try and show how that witness is unreliable. It's a whole lot better than just having to sit there and who knows what might happen. Now, parts of the Fifth Amendment, the right to remain silent, and parts of the Sixth Amendment, the right to a lawyer, you may have heard of before, possibly if you're watching some sort of crime drama on TV. Those two parts of the Fifth and Sixth Amendment form what are called your Miranda rights. And police officers are required to read those to you when you're arrested. It goes something along the lines of you have the right to remain silent. Anything you can and say will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to a lawyer. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you. So the government wants to make sure that you're aware of those rights. The government wants to make sure that you have the right to remain silent and the right to a lawyer. Alright, let's look at the Seventh Amendment. This gives you a jury trial in civil cases. The Sixth Amendment was for criminal cases. Here you have the jury trial in civil cases. So if you have a disagreement with someone, you have the right to have a jury make the decision rather than just the judge. Okay, on to the Eighth Amendment. Here's what we've got. The Eighth Amendment forbids cruel and unusual punishment. This basically means that your punishment has to fit the crime. If you steal a loaf of bread, the government can't cut your hand off to keep you from stealing again. So what they do is they have this thing called precedent, which is basically what's happened before. And they look back and they see, okay, in other crimes that have been committed like this, what was the punishment? And then they try and keep everything consistent and make sure that it's not cruel and that it's not unusual. No excessive bail. Bail is the price of money that is the amount of money you pay to get out of jail until the trial occurs. So it means that you have to, again, make sure that the bail fits the crime and that it's not too much. Finally, the 14th Amendment, we've talked about this one before, due process at the state level. So, 5th Amendment was due process at the national level, 14th Amendment, due process at the state level. All of these things are different ways to protect the rights of the accused, to make sure that the government is treating you fairly if you commit a crime, to make sure that you have a fair trial. Thanks for listening.